Even though Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott has instituted a ban on mask mandates in his state, a ban that, by the way, the Texas Supreme Court actually upheld earlier this week, one clever school district has actually found a way around that ban. The Paris Independent School District in the state of Texas is making use of a loophole that says that each individual school district is allowed, according to the Department of Education in the state of Texas, to implement their own dress codes, not just for students, but for faculty and staff as well. So what they've done is they've just updated the dress code to say that your dress code has to include a mask, a face covering of some kind. Honest to God, this is one of the most clever things we have seen from any of these districts trying to get around these ridiculous bans on mask mandates. Because, yeah, you get to pick your dress code. Obviously, a face covering is something that you wear. Anything that you wear can be considered a part of the dress code. Ergo, you've probably just won your legal case if and when, let's be honest, this thing goes to court. What's really interesting to me, though, is the fact that the school district even had to do this. Okay, the state of Texas, one, just ordered 5 more morgue trailers from FEMA because they're expecting a massive surge in the number of dead Texans from COVID-19, on top of the fact that their governor, who has had 3 COVID shots, he had the first 2 rounds and he got a booster, has been diagnosed with COVID-19 this week. But don't worry about him, folks. He is receiving Regeneron, so he is going to be just fine. Nothing to worry about there because he can get the best treatment that money can buy. You and I, the residents of Texas, not so much. So he gets his hands on this experimental treatment. But the people in his counties, nah, y'all are on your own. But this school district fought back. And it fought back in a clever way, fought back in a way that is going to be really hard for the governor to undo legally. And depending on how state law works, although I will say I do believe also here in the state of Florida, each district is allowed to craft their own dress code. So maybe we see this spread. Maybe this is what starts spreading around the country rather than the Delta variant. Because this is what needs to happen. Folks, there really is nothing controversial about wearing masks. There's nothing controversial about mask mandates. Even in these states that have banned mask mandates, a majority of their own residents do not like them and do not want them. So these governors are working against their own self-interest because they're pissing off their own constituents, not to mention the fact sending far too many of them to an early grave. And if this pandemic hadn't been politicized from the start, we wouldn't even be in this mess today. But that's what happens in a highly polarized country. That's what happens when you have Republican governors like Greg Abbott in Texas pandering to the dumbest people in his state. You end up with situations like this where school districts have to come up with the most creative ways possible just to be able to protect their students and staffers.